If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. Then there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Anchor.fm to get started.
Happy birthday, CI.
What up? What up? Thank you, homie. Thank you.
Happy birthday, big brother.
Appreciate it. Beautiful day. So yeah, good evening. Welcome to Unsolicited Genius. I'm Carlton Ennis, joined by Craig Lindo and Mo Lotfi. We appreciate you being here with us. So we usually start with housekeeping, but as you heard, it's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for letting me see another one. I don't have any housekeeping. What about
How old are you now?
How old am I? You know, you're not supposed to ask a gentleman his age on the internet.
That's only a lady.
42, man. 42.
He's allowed
to. Welcome.
The Heavenly Father's allowed you to see a lot of them.
42. Yeah. But the 41 to 42 is a little stranger. So I too, like everybody else, living through a pandemic, but I had a couple other adventures in between time. So I'm extra thankful.
Okay. How many of them are on-air adventures?
What'd you say?
Any on-air adventures?
Just if you think about, I talk about the coaching and the life coaching and just how I've incorporated that into my life. I think, that's my gift and my skill. So I'm blessed to be able to energize behind both and help people be better with what they have going on. And so, I think you just look around, most of us, if not everybody in our circle, works. So we all are contributing to society in some positive way. But from where I've been in my professional experience, I'm in a space where I love what I'm doing, love the process of being able to do it, and grateful, that I'm doing something that matters to people.
Ikigai.
So happy birthday.
Most definitely.
Here's to many more, my brother.
All right. Well, I'm not just celebrating today. February 7th, I will also be having a pandemic-friendly Super Bowl party. So Let's hop into it. Who you got?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna just go be a homer because I don't have a dog in a race.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, Florida.
All right. That's you. So you pick Florida. I'm going for Florida. All right. Yeah. How about you, Mo?
We're all Florida boys. We're all originally Florida boys. We stayed different places.
Yeah, so whatever.
No, man. I want Tampa to win. I'm with Craig on that. But if you ask me to put my money on it, I'm putting my money on Mahomes. I think Mahomes walks into Tampa for the second time this year, beats the old man, and drives a nail in this coffin for the old man, and lets him know that he's here for the crown and will continue to be here for the crown in the near future.
I got to challenge you, Mose.
I just don't think you could stop Kansas City, Craig. I just don't see that. I don't see how you go out there and stop Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. I think as good as Rodgers is and as good as Rodgers was this year, Mahomes is better than Rodgers. Mahomes is better than Brady right now. Mahomes is the best quarterback player in the league.
The best, yeah, correct.
So
he's a stud. He's balling. I'm not debating you on that.
in a game, Craig, where I think it'll be close,
Mhm.
I'll go with the team that I think has the best player. I'll go with the Chiefs.
Here's my little counter on that though. I'm looking at them working through offensive line issues. KC is them working through offensive line issues all year long. I'm looking at this Tampa defense that has come on my radar in the last, I'm late probably, in the last month-ish.
For the playoffs.
And how long can you I mean, they're going to deal with a strong front seven and a secondary that's really confident in playing together right now. I think, might be one of them seasons where we don't make that.
I'm a big believer in defense, especially 45, man. I keep telling Carlton about my man, Devin White, the linebacker for Tampa. I mean,
you shouted him out.
He's balling. I mean, balling for Tampa. I call him Baby Brooks, Baby Derek Brooks, baby. Baby Derek Brooks out there.
Man, that is a compliment, bro.
Which is the ultimate compliment. But like you said, right? Kansas City's been dealing with offensive line issues all year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have one loss.
Mm.
And they have one loss.
Facts is facts, you say.
And they have one loss. And the reason why they can overcome these offensive line issues is Mahomes.
Mm.
A big difference in this game, too,
hey man, duct tape only worked but so long.
Whoosh.
But okay, you talk about duct tape. The other team quarterback is 42,
don't get it twisted. 43. I love duct tape.
I mean, the other team's quarterback's as old as Carlton.
But that's where I want to jump in, and that's so. Thank you.
Actually, he's as old as me. But
thank you for the segue to my pick. I decided because I'll say I'm betting on this team, but I'm going for this team. I'm betting on Brady. I'm betting on the Bucs. I'm betting on Brady. I agree with you, Mo. Kansas City is playing football like I've not seen offensive football played in any recent memory. The next closest thing, and I'd have to watch them film by film, is the Rams with Marshall Faulk and Kurt Warner. And Kurt Warner wasn't Patrick Mahomes, right? So he had the weapons, but he himself wasn't the weapon, right? So, but it's Brady, right? It's Brady. And the thing that would do it would be his defense, like Craig is saying. The defense got to play lights out. The defense got to show up. Ndamukong Suh got to be the man we thought he was coming out of Nebraska, if they'd have a chance. So I'm giving that energy to the Super Bowl Angels, who got my Giants and Eli 2 Super Bowls over the biggest dragon that needed to be slayed, who I now cheer for. So I've seen it happen. I've lived through it happening. So because we in the same age bucket, I'm riding with Brady.
Shaquille Barrett out there.
I just think another issue in this game is that, okay, when Tampa's defense gets stops, Tampa's offense needs to score. Like, Tampa can't kick field goals.
Yeah.
Carlton, we talk about this all the time if you want to beat Kansas.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I think AB about to show his ass.
You cannot settle for field goals. I mean, Antonio Brown is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He could show his ass at any moment on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
His problems are when he shows his ass off the football field.
Well, he got one more game. He good. The game in a couple of days. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, as long as he stays. Like, what was that Falcons player that got caught?
Oh man, you went there. Oh, you gotta. You can't count until they show up in the locker room the day of the game. I feel you, but for Antonio Brown, what he has done, he's come a long way. He only got a few more steps, but you're right. He's not out the woods yet.
Stay away from Mons Venus from all my Tampa strip club fans.
Is Harlem Nights still out there?
Shout him out, man. Shout him out. My first strip club experience ever was Mons Venus. I'll never forget it. But anyways, I just don't. Tampa, like I said, they can't kick field goals. The other issue, I think, is like Mahomes is mobile. Like, he can get out of things. He scrambles efficiently. He picks up first downs. Brady's stationary. He's going to be in that spot. Is Tampa's O-line gonna protect him well enough. I mean, in the Green Bay game, man, Brady was great in the first half. He was shit in the second half. He threw 3 picks. He got sacked. Who won them the game in the second half wasn't really the offense, it was the defense.
And they could do it again. Now, can they do that for 4 quarters against the Chiefs? No, but make a play.
And I'd also argue that Green Bay's coach helped them win the game when he didn't go for it on 4th down and kick the stupid.
Talk about it. Tell me how you feel about it.
Andy Reid is not going to make that mistake. Andy Reid, if anything, is going to make the mistake of being overly aggressive.
Right.
So Tampa needs to come in with that mentality too, man. 4th and 1 at the 50, you need to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
in response to your question, who's going to protect him? That's Leonard Fournette and company, and Ronald Jones, like the running back core over there, whoever they go to, that's going to be how they do it.
Fournette
I agree with you, man. If they want to win the game, they have to run the ball too.
Mm-hmm. Fournette was nimble on his toes a couple weeks ago, so again, a couple more days. Just bring your A game, AB and little Fournette. Bring your A game. Help Brady.
Like,
man,
if Brady turns the ball over 3 times in this game, Craig, they're gonna get blown out. Like,
right?
They can't turn the ball.
It can't happen this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is
right, so I actually
level than
sticking with sports, but it's something happened. It's a combination of sports and social affairs. But did you all see this, kind of Karen on the extreme? Gina Brasher.
You don't want to say the nickname?
Gina, what's the nickname?
Kourt-side Karen, baby.
Oh, well, that just happened. This was before that. So we can come back to that. But let me get this one off my chest and let's come back to Kourt-side Karen. So
okay,
this particular one. So let's say this particular Kourt-side Karen, she was wearing Gator gear while she was going through her rant, right? And all 3 of us are Gators, and so I'm feeling some kind of way about that. But I don't know if it's me, if University of Florida should come out and make a statement. But for me, and having pride in my school, just seeing this, whether she's associated with the school or not, it reminds me of those things that we needed to have in our back of our mind whenever we went on them road trips coming out of campus, right? You're still in Florida, that element's still around you. And to see this element wear my gear, it got me feeling.
He's not moving off my driveway.
She called someone the N-word without even blinking an eye.
I called that.
This Lee County woman is proving racism runs deep in Southwest Florida. The hate hurled at 2 men trying to work.
You can't use that language. I can use the word all god mother. You're harassing us now.
It is the new stunning video.
Yeah, man, and she got on Gator hat, she got on Gator gear, she gated up. Dun. That's what I hear. So part of me feels like the school should say something to just be like, look, we don't know who she is. She got on our stuff, but we don't support it. What say you?
Most?
I love, man, listen, I love our school. We are Gators. I cheer for the University of Florida, man. I've been a University of Florida fan since I was 5 years old. But I mean, am I surprised that there's a racist Gator out there? Absolutely not. My school is a school that did not allow a Black person in school till 1958. And we know that there is, systematic racism within that university school system that we attended. We experienced it at that school. So and I'm not taken aback by it with Carlton. It's not shocking to me at all. I read an article on it and someone was saying, was this a hate crime? I definitely don't believe it's a hate crime. She's welcome to say whatever the fuck she wants to say. Right. She just exposes her bigotry, her ignorance. And like I said, man, if she wants to live her life like that, to be hateful and to be exclusive of people that are different from her, that's her loss. So fuck her, fuck what she's talking about. She's not that way because she's a Gator. She's that way because she's a fucking racist.
Done. What say you, Craig?
That part. Yeah, like for me, I do feel you, right? Like when I see stuff like that, it's a similar feeling to when I see other people that I have something in common with that I may value do some clown ass shit.
Okay.
Right? Like when you see, so one, I don't know, I didn't see it myself, but off top, I wouldn't know where she got the gator gear. You could buy that at any store. It don't mean you went to the school.
Fair.
Right? And that's not to sound elitist, it's just this, situation.
Gator Nation is everywhere.
Yeah, and two, like Mo said, if you're a douche, it's not because you're a gator. You could be a douche and happen to be a gator, right? Just
Did you
like
say Florida State? I'm sorry, you didn't say that. You didn't
exactly.
say that.
You could be I know a couple fine Seminoles.
I heard
but
that.
I also
I'm
know
sorry.
some douchebag Seminoles, right? Like it's like it's the people are who they are. Your
Because of who they
school
are.
is not necessarily the cause of it, but I also understand you from the perspective of you don't want your brand associated with certain things.
Yeah, and I think for me too, my circle has HBCU graduates, right? And so there's this constant, discussion, not all the time, not as heated as it used to be a few years back, but there's this complex, even if I just, take it and put it on myself, about the experience that we had. And, our experience was blacker than black, right? We can attest to that. And at the same time, there was something else, another element that we encountered, i.e., Kourt-side Karen in Gator gear. So, that just, I guess it I wouldn't even say triggers that, but it trickles that space. So what I hear y'all saying is that the school don't have to say nothing. I could back up out of my feelings because she could have just got the shirt at Walmart, and it's just about who she is and who she is opting not to be.
In regards to the school, Carlton, like I give a fuck what they have to say about this. What I would like to see from the school is them allowing more Black students into the school. The admission of students of color into the University of Florida since we've been in attendance, since we attended, is on the steady decline, man. Like these are the things.
Walter Robinson, we met you. The school needs you. They
Sugar bear, man. That's what I would like to see, dog. I don't care about this lady saying the N-word over and over. I care more about the school addressing the lack of diversity in their student population.
Period.
Gives a fuck who this lady is.
Okay. That's fair. So now what I know what Kourt-side Karen did, but what did Kourt-side Karen do to our boo-boo LeBron?
So for those of you that don't know the story, man, LeBron was playing the Atlanta Hawks here in Atlanta. LeBron and the husband of Kourt-side Karen started talking trash to each other. LeBron seemed to enjoy the discussion. LeBron even said afterwards he didn't think they should be kicked out. Kourt-side Karen decides to stand up, defend her man. She's got, man, dog. Have you seen her? Have y'all seen her?
Just a clip, just a headline pic.
What is that shit when they get the shit shot into their lips so their lips can look more plump and shit? What is that shit?
Botox?
Collagen.
Yeah. Oh my God, dog. She got that shit shot in her lips by the gallon. I mean, she's got it shot in her lips by the fucking gallon. She wanted to let this old dude that got her courtside know that her lips are in it for the
ride or die.
Yeah, like she
was showing out for the man that she loves.
Yes. So
she might have made videos afterward and posted it.
No. So she stands up, Carlton. She takes off her mask and proceeds to tell LeBron that she'll kick his ass, which is comical. They of course remove her, but I think the main reason why she's removed is she's fucking courtside and she took her mask down. It wasn't because she was talking trash. It was because she took her fucking mask down and she's courtside. You can't have that if they let you sit courtside.
Safety
And
first.
you know, you're on record in a not so crowded arena where the mics can pick you up, threatening the athlete.
Is it a
I
threat?
mean,
Though? Was he scared?
not that your threats.
Was he
Look,
scared?
she ain't gonna run up on dude.
Yeah, her
That would
threat
go
was not a
hands.
viable.
You know what I'm saying? But it's on record. And look, viability and all that. See, we thinking from a just mind state. This is the country we live in, where it's about the better legal team, not about being right or wrong.
She wouldn't have said that shit to run
It's on
test.
record.
She wouldn't have said that shit to run our test.
And but you know what is it? What's his name today? Earth. What's his name?
Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace.
That is your name.
I will do whatever.
I'm gonna call him wrong. I'm gonna call him wrong.
Do whatever Meta World Peace want to do. I'm down. Ron Artest, nah.
Oh yeah, you taught that shit to Meta, huh?
Yeah, Meta.
Because he bought that world peace.
Meta, yeah.
The rebranded.
Yeah, that was a sight.
Man, don't let that shit fool you. He punching. I'll tell you about. Nah, that's for taxes.
I just think this also, like, the NBA should reconsider that courtside shit. Like, that's clearly a ploy to get money. They don't need to be courtside.
You're saying the fans are too close?
Yeah, during a pandemic, you can't have this lady take her fucking mask down because she wants to tell LeBron she can kick his ass. Like,
well, you're saying the pandemic, you know, I heard people talking, you know, there was conversations about that pre-pandemic, just the courtside seats were too close to the players.
I think the banter between the fans and the players during the game is actually live. It just, it can't get out of hand to the point where it's racist. That's what you can't have. Like,
that's say what you want, do what you want. Just
the other thing there is that sometimes these courtside fans seem to operate like they got some serious entitlement issues, bro.
Man, you know, that's the word narcissism has been coming up lately. You know, the money that it takes, the money that you have to be able to be in a position to afford these seats comes with a certain attachment to the almighty self. So
I mean, it has a racist,
this comes out sometimes.
No, it has a racial tone to it.
Bro.
There are people that buy these tickets and they feel because they have purchased these tickets, that affords them the ability to do and say whatever they want to the participants on the court. And a lot of times these tend to be white fans talking to black athletes.
I hear you. I hear you.
And it does spill over to have racial tones, and it spills over to threat. I mean, you literally might have a guy that's fucking 5'3", 150 pounds, telling somebody like LeBron, I could fucking kick your ass. Like, come on, man. Like, some of the things are just, it's just too much.
It has an internet-like quality in which you feel free to say some things because you think you won't get the hands.
Because you aren't going to get the hands. Craig, because you aren't going to get the hands. Like you said, there's LeBron risks a lot more than this loser fucking fan when he goes into the crowd to punch him in the face. He's not going to do that. But at the same
LeBron
time,
stands, the LeBron Hive, what do you want to call it? Is fans. LeBron Hive is very strong. Don't sleep on it. When they're growing, you know, that it is what it is.
They get in the Beehive.
Nothing. I compare nothing to the Beehive because I don't want anything with the Beehive.
I want the Beehive after you. Them stings hurt.
I say nothing will be compared to the Beehive.
Stay away.
We love the Queen Bee.
Yep.
We love the Queen Bee.
Since the case video, what are you talking about? That's when my crush started. What are you talking about?
I think it just speaks to a bigger play, like on society, man. People feel entitled to shit just because they can afford it, and they act in a manner that's not civil. It's not fucking civil.
Well,
that's fair, you know, and it's fame, power, money. You know, it comes at the cost of civility.
You know, it's one thing, like, you know, Carlton will tell you when he was at Florida, when Peyton Manning came to play, you know, they would take out the car keys and they would shake the car keys and they would say his name, Peyton. and they would do that. Like, that's one thing, you know, that's the crowd being creative. But to talk about a man's mother or killing him or his children or to use racial slurs is just too much.
Too far.
There is the term fanatic is real. I witnessed the fight. Some of the most despicable behavior I've ever seen was at sporting events with adults, and I'm talking about Jets Dolphins.
Okay.
I took as a side hustle in my younger years there, working the security, logistics staff, whatever, and learned a lot about all the different little nuances of a little facility. But one of the incidences that happened, I forget which fan peed on who, but one man peed on another man.
The urination.
One man is sitting in front cheering for his team, and I guess he cheered a little bit too much, and I don't know if it was a Jets peeing on a Dolphins fan or other way around. Either way, it's all despicable.
Yeah, that's not civil.
That would but not he pulled out and peed on that man. And obviously that led to a fight, and that's when I learned that there's some kind of holding cells in the facility or something.
I'm going to tell y'all boys straight up, man. If someone pisses, I'm going to fucking kill them. Like, that, to me, can't fucking happen.
We can tumble down we can tumble down the bleachers together.
That is.
I can't have your piss on my skin. Like,
while I'm awake and everything, just boom. That is a stretch.
There are some things that I feel like are too disrespectful to where you might have to just cross that line and kill somebody.
Hey man, one of the grossest things ever.
Yeah. And then, you know, to think that Jets and Dolphins fans are fighting what? Like, what are they fighting for? The fuck are the Jets and the Dolphins fans fighting for?
Like, what y'all fighting about?
Yeah, like, y'all.
Hey, man.
What's on the table? What's on the table? We know it's not the Super Bowl.
We get off subject.
We know it's not the
playoffs. They're not even fighting for the playoffs.
It's not the division title. So what is y'all fighting about?
The first pick.
This was years ago.
We got the first pick.
What are you fighting about?
Either.
Who's gonna be 7-9 or 6-10? What's that?
The first pick, I told you.
Because even if y'all get the first pick, you're not gonna do nothing with it. I mean, I take
man,
that.
We watching the rise of the Dolphins, man. Y'all, I can't let y'all get that off. We are watching the rise of the Dolphins.
I apologize. I am only talking about the Jets in that last round of statements. The Dolphins have turned the corner, but
man, they turned the corner when 10-6 and still didn't make the playoffs.
Hey man, Flores is the reason, and as long as I've been in Florida, Flores is the reason I bought my first little piece of Dolphins gear.
All right, well, good luck. You know, y'all got close, man. I told you I was hurt. Y'all didn't make it. You know, so
they just gotta stick with him because they just got. I think he's got the right mindset. I think he's building the right culture. I see a difference from the day he's got here, in my opinion, in my little layperson eyes. So. I don't know, man. I think this is a good time to I think Dolphins season tickets is only gonna go up from here, unless they bail on old boy.
So what's the status with Deshaun Watson? I was keeping up for a minute. I know he won out of Houston. My Giants talked about it. I don't really want that, but you know, what's his status? He found a home yet?
No, he hasn't found a home because Houston's saying they're not gonna trade him.
Oh, they took a stand. I thought they were gonna let him go.
No, they took a stance. They're saying they're not going to trade him.
I heard a proposal in the news about the Raiders. Same day as the stance. So,
right,
if I'm him, I definitely want to be traded because Houston is a loser organization. But if I'm them,
but wasn't he asking for the Jets though?
Deshaun Watson. Why would I trade Deshaun Watson?
You wouldn't. But so
that's what I'm saying.
So first of all, come back. Deshaun Watson stated he wanted the Jets.
No, those are the rumors. Those are.
It was a rumor. He liked some pictures, this, that, and the other.
Okay,
he made just a little post, like little subliminal-ish kind of thing.
He's showing some football leg. That's all. Okay.
Okay. Does anybody know what his management is? I'm now extra curious.
It's not Master P.
that would be a good thing.
Curious. All right.
All right. So I decided what I want from y'all for my birthday, if I can.
All right.
Who is your hip hop top 5? So instead of asking you what you're listening to,
okay,
who is your hip hop top 5? I was doing some reflecting this weekend, and I accidentally played Pac and Nas back to back, and it got me thinking. And I went to Biggie, and I went to Jay-Z, and I said, "All right, let me see what the fellas where they at with their top 5."
Okay. So are we talking? Can I take a little liberty or a lot of liberty, or how about I'm gonna wait till most goes first?
Too. It's my birthday, but it's your show too. So just give it how you feel.
So top 5, man. I was not, because the thing.
We can come back to you. We can come back to you. I don't want to stress you out.
I'm down to that, but I just want to say this: the top 5. A couple of them slots might fluctuate depending on mind state, right? Like,
yeah. Well, my fifth spot is fluid, but I wanted to talk about it. I could solidify it if you all give me permission.
Give me a second. Mos, you ready?
I'm trying to hear what Carlton's trying to say about it.
Oh, my bad.
So, in no order, because I don't want to argue tonight. I'm just expressing my feelings.
I'm here to argue.
Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. All right, that's my 4 for sure. No ifs, ands about that 4. Now,
say that again.
Nas, Pac, Biggie, Jay-Z. That 4 ain't moving. That 4 ain't moving unless.
So this is all time, not right now, just
my
all time.
My
okay, all time. Okay.
My all time hip hop. My hip hop all time. All right. Now that's the 4 is solid. Jack Harlow, 2 Chainz, I love them, but that 4 is solid. My 5th, I love Outkast. Give me Outkast over everything, but individual rapper, it's different, right? So my question to you, for that 5th slot, am I allowed to put a group, or does it have to be a person?
You said top 5 favorite hip hop all time?
Yes.
It has to be a person. It
has to be a person. So then if I put the caveat that I can't leave this earth without these top 5, that means I can't go nowhere without Outkast. So if Big Boy get in, that means somebody got to drop. Is that how that go?
I don't think you. I don't know if I like if they come as a group, it's a group.
That's why I'm asking.
It's a hit because
Craig give me permission to use a group, Mo.
I don't understand why you have a problem just saying Andre 3000 is a better rapper than Big.
Because I can't have Outkast without Big Boy. And Big Boy, every time I go back and reflect, Big Boy be spitting that fire.
The question is, what music do you want to, if you only had 5 albums or 5
it's 5 people.
Artists to listen to.
All right.
Be a different.
All right.
You should have covered yourself by saying top 5 hip hop acts.
You said who are you?
I didn't say act. I didn't say act.
No, that would have covered you. That would have covered you.
I didn't say acts. He right. No, he right. That's why I asked. Again, they my feelings. So 3 stacks close out my top 5.
Okay.
3 stacks close out my top 5.
Wow. Say that one more time.
All right. No particular order. I repeat, no particular order. But in case you wondered, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, and 3 stacks.
All right. For me, I'll give some honorable mentions before I give you my top 5. Like, I respect Eminem. He's probably not even in my top 10, but skill-wise, I respect it. I love Redman. Shout out to Redman. Redman was ahead of his time. If you listen to albums like Muddy Waters, That shit was way ahead of its time.
His performance, him and Method Man live, man. I don't know if I've seen anything hip hop wise better than the two of them on stage.
They had a great chemistry. Dog, unpopular opinion, and some people disagree. Method Man, while my favorite rapper in the Wu-Tang Clan, is not the best rapper in the Wu-Tang Clan. I think the most consistent rapper in the Wu-Tang Clan is Ghostface Killer. Like Ghostface.
I thought you was going. I was hoping you said Raekwon, but
I
don't get in Wu-Tang debates.
Okay.
That's a very
check out what I would say.
In the Wu-Tang.
You get to a Wu nerd.
Raekwon's best albums have Ghost on them. Only Built for Human Links was Ghostface and Raekwon, pretty much.
Okay, I just take.
That was a great album.
I'll also shout out Common, Talib Kweli. I love rappers like that, man.
Okay.
Mobb Deep, all of them. Like, I love that era of rap. But my top 5, Jay-Z. It's in order?
No
order. Jay-Z, Biggie, Andre 3000, Nasir Jones for sure. And my last one, man, even though I don't think he's as skilled as some other rappers with his flow or even the intricacy of his lyrics, he just makes you feel a certain way. Into your emotions. So my last rapper in there would be Tupac.
Dang, it took you a lot to say it. It's like it hurt.
Because he's not as skillful as those other rappers, but when I'm in certain moods, dog.
That's right. I'm sorry. I judged your list.
No. You're perfectly fine. No. That's perfectly fine. The reason why I have to put him in is just because when I am in certain moods, there's nothing that makes me feel the way like Tupac's music does. So I have to include him in my top 5. I couldn't live without it.
All right, Senor Lindo.
Man,
gotta admit, like I said, me being who I am, you might ask me 6 months from now, it might sound different, but
that's okay. We got episodes to come. You could do an update.
Word. I got J, 3K, KRS, Big Daddy Kane, and Black Thought.
Okay, I knew I would get a nice different, me and Mo list the same, right? But I appreciate that.
Now, Black Thought has gotten a lot of spins from me. I think I should be getting something from his title.
So say your list for me.
Black Thought is an amazing rapper. Craig, I'm glad you included him in your list.
Big Daddy Kane is my first favorite MC probably from when I was a jit.
But I can't speak on it. I can't speak on it because I don't know enough about Big Daddy Kane's music to say anything.
He
had me putting parts in my eyebrows, growing high top fades. I bought a cane from 183rd Street Flea Market because in his video he had a cane. So my elementary ass wanted to get a cane until I was trying to take it to school and Cass was like, nah, that ain't cool. And I was like, all right.
I thought you were freestyling. I was like, let me drop the beat.
You put Rakim in there too, Craig?
That's the fluctuation. That spot between Black Thought, KRS-One, and
KRS-One. I'm sorry, KRS-One.
Yeah, I have KRS a third. Like no particular order. That's just the order I said it. But yeah.
Yeah, we could talk. We could break the game down for days. Who influenced what? Who set the course in a different direction? Because that Rakim.
See, man, like picking a top 5 and sticking to it. You asking me to stick to that? I feel like I'm dissing some of my favorite MCs by not mentioning them right now.
I could be selfish for a day.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm dissing some of my favorite MCs by not putting them in that 5, man. Like I'm taking it personal, and it's my list.
Well, I appreciate you all entertaining me. So what you watched this week?
Man,
can't talk about it. Y'all been busy. It's okay.
I have not had time to watch TV.
That's good. Y'all teaching the kids, y'all helping the babies.
Yeah, so
it's a lot of math videos, a lot of making math videos.
What do you
To the
mean?
point that I gotta seriously just launch a YouTube channel to support and probably go ahead and try and do something with that for another income stream. At this point, every educator needs to get a YouTube channel, needs to brand themselves.
Mm.
The free agent market, I think, there's potential there, and for outside income streams, especially creating courses or tutoring.
Take
Now,
notes,
is
folks.
that something I want to do all the time in my life? No, but it's the branding yourself right now, especially in the age where they're forcing you kind of to be on camera in certain districts, might be to your advantage.
All right, business tips. Y'all didn't know y'all was getting business tips today.
Parents, if you are listening, as an educator, I would tell you to be very concerned about your students, your children's math and reading. You really need to be working with your children to make sure their ability is where it needs to be. I was talking to Carlton about this, and we were talking about grades. Be careful with grades at this level in this setting. A lot of these grades are easy grades. They're not grades that truly show where the student's abilities are at. And especially in something like math, you don't want your child to move on if they don't have the necessary skill set, because fall further and further and further fucking behind.
I don't know if you realize that kind of supports what I was saying before, that the deficiencies that are going to be created, it's a market is being created, also a chasm. But there's something being created here, a niche that could be tapped into. And I hate to sound like some scavenger, predatory businessman, but I do see that there are dollar signs here and a niche to be tapped into. But on the other side, I do agree with you that parents should be concerned. But that goes back to even before pandemic. All my years in the classroom, here's the one thing that I've noticed, and whether as a student or a teacher, the students that had the additional reps outside of the classroom were the students that excelled. The students that had the better support at home were the students that excelled.
I mean,
more than 50% of the time.
Studies show that. I mean, when I was studying for my master's in education, the biggest difference between success and failure is parental involvement. But I am an educator that takes my students' education very seriously, as if it was my own child's education. My recommendation would be to work with your children to see, to make sure that they are where they are supposed to be. I would not take the word of some report card over virtual schooling. It would be better, and I always say this, I would rather have my son, get a hard C than an easy A, because that means they've actually mastered the material. They're learning the material. I'm worried. I'm worried that a lot of these kids are going to skate by during this pandemic, and they're going to fall behind in their mathematics, and it's going to be an issue for them down the road. And I don't see anybody on a federal, state, local level doing anything to address this gap that's going to be in their education. So it is very concerning. It's very concerning.
So, I started with what y'all were watching, and what's interesting and where it ties together is the show I picked up on a couple episodes is F is for Family, cartoon or animated show.
I've seen
I don't know what network it originated on, but I picked it up on Netflix, and it's funny, but it also goes deep. It's 70s family, middle class, I assume, working, grinding parents. Life didn't go the way that they maybe thought, or at least the dad's life, well, mom too, for that matter. But they love each other, they love their kids, and they're trying. And one of the challenges they have with their oldest kid is around his ability to excel. And what I found profound is, as much as they want him to succeed, they're critical when he doesn't apply himself. They decided, based on who he is, that they was going to love him and just give him the support he needed to thrive, despite whatever physical, emotional handicaps he may have. You know, this is who he is. This is who he has been. Let's love him and support his path accordingly. And, you know, you two being educators, everything you just said and what this pandemic is highlighting even further isn't things we didn't know before. But when you look at it from the perspective of parenting and schools and that relationship, both parties are supposed to be aligned for the success of the child. But it seems that so many things, money, politics, distractions at home, parents focused on other things, relying on the system to do things that the system can't do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So it's interesting to hear what you all said. It's interesting how it ties to, you know, what I was watching for a few days this past week. And I think, you know, the underlying message is, as you said, parents, get involved, love your kids, see where they are, do it for them, not because some fear that you're attempting to overcome in how you perceive as yourself, how you perceive yourself as a person or a parent. It's for the babies. And let's figure out how we align and unite and pull together our thoughts, ideas, finances, all the sorts of resources to do what's in the best interest for the babies. That's my 2 cents. But I don't teach, so
that's your unsolicited genius.
And there it is.
I gotta ask this question. When are we gonna stop being naive about politics?
I don't know.
We want to dodge the conversation, right? Let's dodge politics. Let's talk about sports, because politics don't influence sports. Let's talk about politics influence, because you know what? I could specify districts, states, whatever, where when they took away summer school, the scores dropped, but they used the scores to finance or justify taking either money away from schools or doing other things with that money, and then making it easier for anybody to start a school. And I don't have a problem with that, because competition is good for the consumer, right? That's not lost on me.
Right.
But I'm using that as an instance to point out where political decisions always influence schools. Political decisions influence everything.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to stop being naive about talking about politics?
Can I tell you what I think? You got a response more? Can I? Who going next?
We can't avoid it.
I mean, the problem with education is the people that run education have no idea what they're doing. Look who the head of education was under Donald Trump, Betsy DeVos. She has no experience in education. And then she believes in private education. Why would you have someone in charge of the nation's education that doesn't believe in public education? That is what she's essentially responsible for. So you have someone that's in charge of public education that is more for private education, because that takes care of people like herself who are wealthy, and the public education system continuously gets shitted on.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like education as a K through 12 classroom teacher since 2000 has been steadily, slowly getting less human and more corporate since I got in. We sometimes we feel like a boiler room with the amount of numbers that get thrown at you, that you and put soft suggested quotas, because you know, depending on where you are, you can't be given a hard quota, hard number to meet, right? Depending on your union bargaining team, wherever you are. But it's gotten more and more privatized, commercialized, and, for a played out word, digitized. So with that said, she fits the mold of where it was trying to be forced to go, but I think they're also starting to realize it's not worth it or working.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Like, there's a responsibility in the country to educate the people of the country. Right. you can't have a successful society if people are uneducated. So public education needs to be invested in heavily.
Educated citizenry.
Yes.
That is what they fear.
That is the country. There is no fucking country if people don't get educated. We need people to get educated to fill the jobs of the country. The problem with private education, man.
Your citizenry should be educated in, well, let me not say should. Good advice often does not have the word should in it, but a strong citizenry is healthy and educated.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
And I am completely against private schools for the fact that in this country, money is power. Money is influence in this. Mm-hmm. So when you have wealthy people, whether white or black, and they are zoned to go to a school that they don't like, they have an easy escape. You just pay for this private school, boom, you don't have this public school that you're zoned to anymore. So they don't use their power
anyway.
But Craig, because they're not forced to go to that public school, they don't use their power and influence to make that a better school. So that school ends up being occupied by people who are lower socioeconomic status. They don't have the means to fight, and the school is a shit school. And then, you know, the other problem in education is the people that get the most blame at the end of the day are the teachers, and they are the one that make the least amount of money, that do the most amount of work.
We love you, teachers.
Hey man, I stopped teaching over a year ago. I'm a digital content creator now.
You're shitting on the people that do the hardest job, and you judge them the most harshly. It's a wonder you can't get good teachers.
Do you still feel like you're teaching?
I mean, I go as hard as I can, man, but you know,
do you still feel like you're teaching?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still teaching, man, because I do what I normally do. But my self-doubts come in, Craig, with
let's say they do well. Is asynchronous learning, and you know, they kind of learn on their own.
I log in every day, Craig, and I present them with like a lecture.
I'm with you.
PowerPoint presentations, all of that shit. But you know, in this setting, my self-doubt comes in. Like if they take a test, Carlton, and they all do well, I sit there and I'm like, I wonder if they cheated. If they don't do well, I'm like, did I fuck up in the way that I taught my students? Mm. So, you know, the data is skewed because you're not sure what they're doing on their end. So that kind of like fucks with me. But in terms of like the way I teach, no, that hasn't changed at all for myself. It's just weird to not have students in person.
The passion, no, but there is something lost. There's something lost with them not being in the room. There is something lost with not being able to read their body language. There's been a lot lost with the change to me, but there's been some gained, and but no, education isn't the same. And when I'm half joking when I say I'm a digital content creator. The learning management system through which I present, I code daily now. Code daily. I have to get to the point, like either I'm always getting content from somewhere else to put together to help assist, because when I'm not around, right? When I'm not in the live meeting, when they're not there, what is the reference point? So I have to put together a video library for them, whether it's of other people's stuff or mine, of demonstrations. You know, math is a verb. They need to see it done and then do it themselves and get reps. Right? Math is more like a sport than any other subject.
So let me ask this. We got a new sheriff and deputy in town, right?
Okay.
New administration.
Stand on the soapbox, my bad.
What's 1, 2, maybe 3 solutions that we can start talking about, looking at, pushing for, start a nonprofit to help emphasize or develop? Like, how do we write the direction that this particular ship is sailing in?
You talking about with the new sheriffs?
However it go, I don't know, you know, how high, how low, how local it needs to be. I don't know.
One, let me just beat on the cliche. Make it competitive to be a teacher. Make it worth it. First of all, you talk about the shortage of males in there. All right, make it a breadwinner salary. You know what I mean by that. Make it a breadwinner salary and see and start you. The more talented that pool gets, the better, right? That's one. Two, well, actually, one and two could be flipped. Change the schedule. You probably should change the schedule first because then you could justify more the pay raise. Because right now, that's the main thing that gets held against teachers when pay raises come up is the schedule. That being said, nobody wants to lose that much time off for a year, and nobody wants to burn out the students. However, you could do out of every 4 weeks of the month, the first 3 weeks on, the last one off. That'll catch all your holidays. That'll avoid burnout. That'll give time for PLCs and all that other stuff, and learning, professional learning, all that.
For me, Carlton, well, like it's like twofold for me, right? Like if we're talking about just the educational system, you need to start at equality. You need to get rid of the privatization. The privatization of schools and jails needs to fucking go. People should not be profiting off of those entities. The government should just be investing in education, period. And jails, you shouldn't be making money off people going to jails. It gives people an incentive to incarcerate you. But for education, Carlton, especially, I want to talk about Black youth. We need more of what LeBron James did with that school that he built in Ohio. We need to see, I believe, more of that investment in our community from people that can afford it. And when they make that investment, they need to get the government involved. And almost like if we said, if I build one, you build one.
You're confusing me.
If I build one, you build one. And if we kept going like that, Carlton and Craig, we could build schools that invest in our communities and change generations. I mean, you could change generations. And I'm not even talking about like generational wealth. I'm talking for some generations, man, if we jumped to the middle class, that would be fucking phenomenal. You know, imagine the progress that you can make after that. If you come from a generation where socioeconomically everyone in your generation has been poor, that is the kind of investment I feel we need to see. And you know, another thing is like I teach history, right, Carlton? And we need more Black educators teaching Black youth, in my opinion, because the history needs to come from a different perspective than
put some money on it.
Yeah, than what they've been used to.
All that will come to the class. Put some money on it.
Yes, sir.
That's why a lot of us don't stay here. I watch a lot of other males, Black or otherwise, come and go. And a lot of them will go and then try and come back and recruit me like, yo, you wasting talent here. I'm starting to believe them. But man, because look, think about it. You got 120 clients per day, dynamic clients. Look at your pay rate. These cats step out here, client load maybe 7, double your pay rate. And half of them clients, they're not static. They're not dynamic. It's just whatever. You look at it like that, that's another way to look at it.
All right. Well, I asked the question and y'all gave me some good answers. So all I can say is my son is not in you all school districts, but I pray that his teachers from here on out have the same fire that you all have for their success. And let's keep, y'all keep fighting a good fight. And for those that's listening, do your part at minimum. We know you can vote, you can be informed. Talk to your teachers. Let them tell you what they need. Let them help you understand where the opportunities are. Let them help you see who should be held accountable. Like Craig said, we don't want to say should. Let the teachers help you know where the accountability lies. And then as a collective community, where you are, work toward resolutions and solutions. All right, so What else? What y'all? What? I think it's time to say goodbye. So happy birthday to me again. I love y'all boys. What else we want
One
to
time
tell
for the
our
good
listeners
times.
before we say good night or goodbye, good morning, wherever you are, good lunch, good midday, good siesta.
You boys know how I always end our show. I got my buffoons for you.
Okay.
Let me start off there. We got our first back-to-back buffoon, Marjorie Taylor Greene. This lady, man, once again, more video surfaces. Did y'all see how she followed the shooting victim around?
From around my part of town. That's my area.
And was insinuating that the shooting at the school at Parkland never took place. I mean, the lady, it's unbelievable that she's allowed in Congress. And then, did you see McConnell? McConnell came out and said the lady was loony. And I was like, man, look at McConnell saying the lady was loony. But that boys correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this lady a spawn of like Donald Trump? Like, where was McConnell to say that Trump was loony? This is once again them laying in bed with the devil coming back to haunt them, because their support for Trump has led to them having someone like this in their party who doesn't believe in these school shootings, but somehow they're about to put her on the committee for education.
Say what?
That shit just doesn't add up. We need to get her the fuck up out of there.
Your senator now.
My second buffoon is the Rochester, New York police. Did you boys see the video with the 9-year-old girl who they pepper sprayed and handcuffed in the back of the car?
Yeah, I synced it.
I just want to compare that to this other incident that I read about. I don't know if y'all boys saw the story about in Seattle about the offensive lineman that beat the shit out of his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He beat her so badly that when she got up from the bed after the beating that she took to walk to the restroom, he looked at her and said he can't believe that she's still alive. The police went to arrest him, and they said they were on top of him, and he was able to like lift his body up with them on top of him. They tased him and no effect on him. They struggled to handcuff him, and they were legitimately in fear. But you know what? They didn't shoot him. They didn't pepper spray him. He made it to the jail safely. Meanwhile, the 9-year-old black girl who hasn't even fucking committed a crime, who they called because she was having a mental fucking episode, they tackled to the ground, they handcuffed, they traumatized her even more. Where the fuck is this? That shit. And I hate to say this to black people, but it's true. Man, if you have a relative that's having a mental episode, don't call the fucking police. Don't fucking call the police, because that shit doesn't fucking end well.
So
it's gone left a couple times.
We are not healthcare providers on this show, and so take what we advise as you see fit.
Oh no, we're not healthcare providers, but I'm trying to say here,
as Muhammad is articulating, do not call the police. But if you have somebody in your family struggling with mental health, have a response plan. If they have a provider, get advice from their provider, their psychiatrist, their psychologist, their counselor. If my loved one has this episode, who should I call? When you call the police have a limited number of things that they will do for situations. And the under-educated police officers have a higher propensity to respond with the suppression approach. And so if you have a family member who's out of sorts for whatever reason, suppression isn't what they need. Space, support, protection, but suppression isn't necessarily the first place you want to go. So you got somebody in your family suffering from mental health, have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, Google is your friend. Start looking it up. Start talking to people in your circles.
Don't have a plan, make one.
wellness community. It's out there, it's available. We're not professionals, but this is what we think.
We are advocates for mental health. What Carlton's saying, I completely agree with. Seek mental people that are in mental health that specialize in that. The police are not equipped for that. And Carlton is fucking articulate and all of this shit. But what he's trying to tell you is these uneducated, these racist, bigoted cops, the number one thing they go to is just shoot a motherfucker. Like that's plan A. That's fucking plan A. So if someone in your family is having a mental health,
we've seen it happen, but I can't say that all cops are going to shoot off for it.
No, I'm not saying. I've said the bigoted, the racist, those police. My last one for the week, man, is fucking Kanye West.
What did he do now? Oh yeah, he didn't pay the
motherfucker runs around telling you that these white record executives and these companies are taking advantage of these artists. They're not giving them their masters. And he fucking turns around and he does the same thing to his artists. 2, he has a fucking Sunday choir and he's not paying them. Like, what the fuck? Like,
the choir?
You're doing this for God, allegedly, and you're scamming the people in the choir. Kanye West is a deplorable human being, man.
What'd you say? The title of the episode is Kanye robbed the choir.
Use the D word again.
Kanye West is a deplorable human being. The hypocrisy of railing against that system and then knowingly participating in it to screw over other Black people. I just don't respect that shit. Pay those people their fucking money, please. Heroes, real quick. Sean King. Sean King is an activist. If you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him. There was a gentleman that was wrongfully imprisoned. The gentleman's name, if you don't know, is, I'm trying to get you the name right now, Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson was in jail for an absurd amount of time for a weed charge. They got him out. Sean King wanted to raise money to buy him a home. They have raised more than enough money to buy him this home. They're also going to be able to purchase him a car. That's just outstanding. Like, it's amazing to see what the community can do when we rally around each other.
Good job, Sean King. Good job.
We need to keep that up. Cicely Tyson, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in
Brian Sicknick, rest in peace. Brian Sicknick is the Capitol officer that was murdered during the insurrection.
Man, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Love you all. I'm out.
That's it.
No disrespect, because I'm having an issue with the name, but I think one of the Beastie Boys passed, but I don't remember all that his name specifically. But
that would be 2.
Rock with the Beastie Boys.
That would be 2, right? That would be 1 Beastie Boy left alive.
I think so.
I don't know. We'll follow. We'll Google it. We'll figure it out. All right. Well, I don't have any accolades for today. I just, like I said, F is for family. It's a great show. I think a lot of seasons to go, so I don't know when I missed.
It's pretty funny, man.
But yeah, so artistic masters of animated craft. F is for family. So that's my master of the craft for the day or the week or whatever time period. All right, fellas. Well, y'all still my favorite people. Always good to connect and talk shop. Happy birthday again. It's Aquarius season, that number 1 zodiac sign.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right then. Well, happy Wednesday.
Happy birthday, my bro.
Happy, keep fighting a good fight with them chillins. And we'll keep, spreading our magic around the earth.
Yeah, man. Friend from 19 all along. Happy birthday.
All right.
Y'all remember, man, America does not have a race problem. America has a racism problem. Love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe.
Big fact.